Creation, fact or fairy tale? In the last 150 years, new theories have arisen as to where the universe came from. Some people now think the entire universe began from an accidental explosion of particles. Now where those particles would have come from, they don't know. And that life as we know it evolved over billions of years from disorganized particles into incredibly complex living organisms. As Christians, we believe that the kind of order we see in the universe does not happen randomly, and that the God of the Bible is powerful enough to create everything and anything, simply by speaking it into existence. Psalm 147, 4-5. He determines the number of the stars. He gives to all of them their names. Great is our Lord and abundant in power. His understanding is beyond measure. God created the universe with astounding complexity, beauty, and order. Nothing in creation happens by accident. Every plant, animal, and particle obeys the laws that God set up. Consider these ways that show God's amazing design in creation. Science time. Everything in the universe is composed of super tiny atoms, which are just different combinations of protons and neutrons surrounded by electrons. These atoms form chemical elements that make up literally everything: mountains, stars, soil, water, air, and every living thing. Now for every living thing, these atoms form to make microscopic living cells that work together to create living organisms like trees, vegetables, birds, fish, porcupines, pandas, and people. Scientists estimate that each human is made up of 30 trillion living cells. Inside each tiny cell is a tiny brain called a nucleus that contains DNA, which is all the information to keep the organism alive and growing. The Earth that we live on has the perfect conditions to sustain life. Scientists estimate that the chances of a planet randomly sustaining life are 1 in 60 billion chances. Basically impossible. Earth is the perfect distance from the sun and has an atmosphere to keep the temperature not too cold, not too hot. Earth contains all the chemical elements to support almost 9 million different kinds of living species. Earth is the only place in the entire universe that is known to contain life. And nowhere else in the universe have scientists been able to detect so much as one tiny living cell. And if they do ever find life somewhere else, we know God obviously made that too. On Earth, life always comes from life. Animals lay eggs or give birth to more animals. Plants make seeds to grow new plants. Cells replicate themselves. Life is never an accident, and the very existence of it points to the living creator who made it. Some people, even Christians, who find themselves doubting God's existence, ask God to show himself to them, to prove he is real. Sometimes God gives us special answers, but usually God uses creation to show us that he exists. Romans 1 verse 20. For ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God. People may laugh at you for believing that God is a creator, but you don't have to be embarrassed about it. Many scientists believe in creation, or at least admit that it's possible, considering the phenomenal and essentially impossible chances that Earth exists as it does by chance.